What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy BigJusLaFlare from that Facts and Cap podcast, and we back, baby. And hey, listen, man, Meek Mill, come sit right here. Come sit right here next to me in the LaFlare Lounge, and let's talk about your business, choices, your business wisdom, your business lack thereof. Because Meek Mill decided that he wanted to get on Twitter and voice his frustrations about his label once again. Now, he did that a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and he was saying that he's never seen a paycheck from Atlantic Records. And people were doubting that, or people were breaking it down. And, for me, I think that it was more so Meek Mill just doesn't understand the business. And I think it's really a shame, and it's really just a bad example of a rapper not understanding the business. Once you're in something for 10 years and you've got all the advantages and all the connections that Meek Mill has, where he has Jay-Z, you know how many people is dying to sit down and just have a regular dinner with Jay-Z because they think that he's going to give you more than $500,000 worth of knowledge, but you actually live to do that, right? You also are hanging with Robert Kraft and other billionaires, sports team owners. It's so many connections that you have where you could be learning about this business, or maybe they could pass you to the right entertainment lawyer, or, the right music business lawyer. It's so many things that you could take advantage of that you haven't. And I feel at this point, to be such a veteran in the game, that's on you. There's no reason. We have examples of people who know what they're doing in the game. We have examples of these 21 Savages who milked the game for what it was, who got their masters and they make good money. They not into these type of deals that you in, or in these situations. And if they are, they not voicing it over the internet because the lawyer will probably tell Meek Mill, what you're doing is not smart. You're messing up a business relationship, and these people control your money. They control in the future. If you want to get your masters back, they control that. It's too many things that come into variations and just too many different circumstances for you to be on the internet going at Atlantic Records. Now, for those who don't know, let's go over what Meek Mill actually said on Twitter. Now, he's not the best typer, so bear with me if I make a mistake. Meek Mill said, he said, I made Atlantic Records hundreds of millions of dollars and let them rape me out of Roddy Ricch as an artist. They came to me in jail and they saying I can't drop music until 9 months after my last album got blackballed. All they did was just rap buildings with promotions and Nina Art with talent. So he had a couple tweets before that, but this was actually where I wanted to start because, one, I think Meek Mill needs to understand that just because you made the record label hundreds of millions of dollars, that doesn't mean that you get to determine how you do the business, because in actuality, it's their business. It's kind of like when Boosie was, had his Instagram and he was trying to tell people, he was trying to plead for his own Instagram back, saying he was going to sue for $100 million. When you sign that contract, you work for them. You're under their contract. The same way when you read your agreement terms and you sign up for Instagram, that's on you. That's on you to make those decisions. That's on the label to actually tell you when and where you can drop, how you drop. They deal with the budgets. They deal with the promotions. And as you see, you don't really understand that. You think that, because I make you guys money, that I should be able to drop this album or this next album when you want. No, it's not that. And it's just, they probably don't see you, basically the value in you anymore that you see. Meek Mill, you've already peaked. You're not necessarily falling off, because in actuality, 90,000 is a pretty decent amount of records to sell in your first week. But if you add that in with the cost of maybe the budgets and everything like that, you probably don't even like recording at the studios in the trenches no more. You gotta go record in Miami on the label, catching flights, catching jets. We know you like to do fly shit. You know, ain't no telling how much money you charging, how much they spending on your budget. You saying, look at you. You saying how you depend on the label for the marketing, right? You said they only wrapped buildings and they only wrap buses and whatnot. Whereas let's look at somebody like an NBA YoungBoy. He brings value because they don't have to do any promotion for NBA YoungBoy. And if they do, it's minimal, right? Maybe they give academics some thousands to make a post about the album and whatnot. But it's very minimal on how much he actually has into his budget. All he has to do is drop music. But we gonna get into NBA YoungBoy in the next video. Let's get back to Meek Mill. There's a difference when YoungBoy sells 155,000 and Meek Mill sells 155,000. Meek Mill is more expensive. So your last album sold 89,000 first week. Your first week is always your best week for the most part. So it's been 10, 11, 13 weeks since you dropped that album. You probably not even selling 15,000 units anymore. You probably didn't recoup, and that's why they're shelving you. They're probably telling you gotta go get your own self hot. We spending money. Why would we let you drop an album when you still owe us money from the last album? We haven't recouped. See, these artists, they're selfish thinkers. They only think about them. There's other people on Atlantic Records. They can't just have you dropping whenever you want to drop. You're not that valuable to them anymore, Meek Mill. And that's just what it is. I'm not here to ever disrespect Meek Mill, but it is what it is. Then you got Meek Mill. He's on Twitter saying that how basically the label bought Roddy to him. And it sounded like he was under the belief that he was going to be working closely with Roddy or maybe even potentially sign Roddy. And when they saying that he was lucrative, they snatched him back from Meek Mill. And he said the same thing happened when he was with Rick Ross. They snatched him from Rick Ross. Now listen, while I do understand the frustration there, especially watching Roddy Ricch blow up and be a big artist, at the same time, you got to know when you're being taken advantage of. You didn't learn from the last mistake when you said that they did that with you and Rick Ross. You could have learned that. You could have learned something then. But instead, now you on here complaining about what they did to you. You should have got something in paperwork. Listen, like I said, you got all the assets you need. You beefing with Rick Ross. Rick Ross could have helped you in this situation. So I think that it's more so, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to protect the labels. The labels are always going to play keep away from you. They're always going to mess up the budgets, let you spend money that, that way they don't have to give you any money back. They're always going to do little shiesty things. But for you to be 10 years in the game, you supposed to been known that, and you supposed to have been here understanding business. I suggest you go sit down somewhere and learn your possibilities and learn how to stop wrecking relationships. Like, for example, when you was at the Hamptons and you were supposed to be with all these billionaires, you supposed to be establishing relationships, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that type of shit. But instead, you get drunk and you want to fight Travis Scott at the Hamptons. That's what I'm saying. They shut the party down because of you, Meek Mill. When are you going to start taking accountability for Meek Mill's actions? And I'm going to just leave it at that, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Meek Mill needs to hold himself accountable for this situation? Do y'all think that it's the labels that's fucking Meek Mill over and he's just telling the truth about what's going on? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Hit that notification bell. And we out, baby. Blah.
Daddy channel. Subscribe for Daddy channel.